Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Backhand index pointing right, God will help, Jesus Christ motivational message, no gaps. God will help is not just a comforting phrase, it is a powerful belief that gives you strength to keep going even when things feel impossible. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that help does not always come in the way we expect, but it always comes in the way we need. You may be facing problems. You may feel stuck. You may not see a solution right now. But listen carefully. Backhand index pointing right, this is not the end. My dear friends, many people lose hope when they cannot fix everything on their own. They feel weak. They feel helpless. Backhand index pointing right and they stop trying. But God will help changes your mindset. It reminds you. Backhand index pointing right, you don't have to do everything alone. You still take action. You still keep moving forward. Backhand index pointing right, but you don't carry the burden alone. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, you feel supported. You don't panic in problems. You don't lose hope in difficulty. Backhand index pointing right, you stay strong. Even when the situation is unclear. Backhand index pointing right, you keep going. God will help at a deeper level means solutions will come. Opportunities will appear. Clarity will develop. Strength will grow inside you. And step by step, backhand index pointing right, things will change. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that help often comes with patience and effort. Backhand index pointing right, when you keep going, support meets you on the way. So don't give up. Don't feel alone. Keep moving forward. Because when you truly believe, God will help. You don't feel stuck or helpless. You move forward with hope, courage, and confidence, knowing that no matter how difficult things are, help is coming, strength is growing, and your situation can change. Backhand index pointing right, God will help, Jesus Christ motivational message, Part 2. As you go deeper into this message, you begin to understand something even more powerful. God will help is not always about instant solutions, it is about strength given to you in the process. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that sometimes the situation doesn't change immediately. Backhand index pointing right, but you become strong enough to face it. You may still have challenges. You may still feel pressure. But now, backhand index pointing right, you handle it differently. My dear friends, many people expect problems to disappear quickly. But real growth happens when backhand index pointing right, you grow stronger inside. God will help at this stage means inner strength. You become more patient. You become more focused. You become more resilient. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, you don't break easily. You don't panic in difficult situations. You don't lose control under pressure. Backhand index pointing right, you stay steady. Even when things are not perfect. Backhand index pointing right, you keep moving forward. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that strength is also a form of help. Backhand index pointing right, when you are stronger, you can overcome more. So don't lose hope. Don't expect everything to change overnight. Keep building yourself. Because when you truly live, God will help. You don't wait only for problems to disappear. You grow into a stronger, calmer, and more capable person, ready to face challenges and move forward with confidence, no matter what comes your way. Backhand index pointing right, God will help, Jesus Christ motivational message, Part 3. As you continue, you begin to realize something even deeper. God will help is not just about strength, it is about guidance in the right direction. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that help often comes as clarity, direction, and the right choices at the right time. You may feel confused. You may not know what step to take next. But now, backhand index pointing right, you don't feel completely lost anymore. My dear friends, sometimes the biggest struggle is not the problem itself. Backhand index pointing right, it's not knowing what to do. But God will help at this stage means direction will come. You begin to see things more clearly. You start making better decisions. You understand what matters and what doesn't. Backhand index pointing right, your path becomes clearer. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, you move with confidence. You don't stay stuck in confusion. You don't keep overthinking every step. Backhand index pointing right, you take action. Even if it's one small step at a time. Backhand index pointing right, you keep progressing. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that guidance is also a form of help. Backhand index pointing right, when you are shown the right path, everything begins to align. So stay calm. Stay focused. Be open to learning. Because when you truly live, God will help. You don't feel confused or directionless. You move forward with clarity, confidence, and purpose, knowing that step by step, you are being guided toward the right path in your life. Backhand index pointing right, God will help, Jesus Christ Motivational Message, Part 4. As you go deeper into this message, you discover something even more powerful. God will help becomes trust in the outcome, even before you see it. The teachings of Jesus Christ remind us that help is not only in the process, it is also in the result that is being prepared for you. You may still be waiting. You may not see the final answer yet. But now, backhand index pointing right, you don't feel uncertain anymore. My dear friends, this is where confidence begins. You stop worrying about what will happen. You stop fearing the future. Instead, backhand index pointing right, you trust the outcome. God will help at this stage means confidence in what is ahead. You believe things will work out. You believe solutions will come. You believe your effort has meaning. Backhand index pointing right, you stay positive. And this is powerful. Because now, backhand index pointing right, fear loses its control over you. You don't panic about tomorrow. You don't stress over results. Backhand index pointing right, you stay calm and focused. Even when everything is not clear. Backhand index pointing right, you move forward with confidence. At the same time, the message of Jesus Christ reminds you that trust creates peace. Backhand index pointing right, when you believe in the outcome, anxiety disappears. So keep going. Stay confident. Trust the process. Because when you truly live, God will help. You don't feel afraid of the future. You move forward with confidence, peace, and strong belief, knowing that everything will come together in the right way and at the right time.